Hello, my name is Miranda from My Scrap by Life, and welcome back to my channel. This is a process video for the scrap room, and it's the flavors of the month, and I am using the Carta Bella's wine collection, and as part of the design team, I'm also doing the Freaky Fast Friday formula too. But as the design team, I get the main kit, the ephemera kit, and then the paper add-on, the pattern paper add-on kit. I am doing the Freaky Fast Fridays. I do the 11 by 11, and then there's 3 by 3s, and then 1 3.5 by 9.5. So I do this as a grid style layout. I take one of them that is 3.5 by 9.5, and I take another piece of it so that I can get like a little bit extra of a piece so that it can fit and work in with the way I want to. So this Carta Bella collection is all about the wine, and I will say I love the collection. The collection wasn't the hard part. It was finding a photo. I thought I took more photos of, like, I guess my wine cups or whatever when I'm out to drink these last couple of years, and I guess really in retrospect, either A, I was drinking more water and stuff, or I just didn't take, because it took me a hot minute to find some photos of it. So this one is of last year's Scrapping with the Girls crop, and they turned the fire pit on outside where we eat at night, and I went out and took a photo of the fire with my wine, and I found this cup. So it worked out perfectly for this collection because I do love everything about this collection. I just thought I had more photos than I did. So I am making this, like I said, I'm making this a grid collection or a grid style layout, and I am giving it some contrast to the fact that I am making some lines go up and down and then some lines going across. And I do have a very busy background, but what I'm going to do here is I am going to take the white acrylic paint stick that I use, which is like the acrylic paint marker from Liquitex, and I am going to make some circles. I had to get the paint out because some of this is just watery. And with the paint sticks, you've got to really mix them up. And I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. So I'm going over and I'm trying to mute this background. And for me, it does. It becomes a little bit busy for some people, but for the most part, it's very uniform. It's how I want it to look. It took me a hot minute with the stickers and the embellishments that I do have for this collection to try to find like a title that fits my photo. So there is my photo. I was going to use that, and then I don't know why I pulled it out, to be honest. I do use these banners, but it comes in a lot later in the process video of this. And here's the thing about Carta Bella. Carta Bella and Echo Park do the same thing. And they give you these crazy, like, big old, like, tabs and stuff. But then they don't give you a lot of ephemera. And that's what I struggle the most using Carta Bella and Echo Park. If I get, no matter what, whether I get them from whatever kit club, and they give you these journaling bits, they're the hardest to work with. Now, that's just me. That's just me talking about how my brain is processing of how I'm going to use these. Now, I do love Echo Park a little bit more than Carta Bella. I think it's because of the paper content of it, but I always love a challenge for me because I am not one, I will be honest, I am not one to go buy Carta Bella or Echo Park unless it really, really talks to me. And the reason why I say that is it's just typically not my go-to, like my way of looking at layouts and what I want to use with it. So that is the reason why I consistently try to use Carta Bella and Echo Park in my design team layouts for the scrap room, because being transparent about collections is what I feel is the best way to have anybody that is watching the process videos to understand why sometimes for someone else that it is easy to use, you guys, they love them, this, that, and the other, and why for like me, sometimes I struggle. And it's mainly because of like the ephemeras and the journaling tabs that you get. There's too many, it's a lot. It's like too much. But it works for me. I like how it turns out. This collection is perfect for this photo. I really, really loved how the end result works for me and how it comes all together. So make sure that you do all the YouTube-y stuff, like and subscribe if you're new to the channels. If you're coming from one over the other, make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the other channel, this, that, and the other. I am taking some twine out of my stash, and I am going to, you'll see how I make this twine work. At first, I put it in wrong, so I had to undo it and then put it in correctly so that it turns into a, like, bow-like without actually tying it as a bow. And then I do use the upper piece with the tag that comes across as well. And I just wanted it to look like I tied it with it going in and out of those circles. So I'm making that all work there. And then I do put some twine in the upper part of this tag. And then that's pretty much it. So anywhere where you see the word wine, I'm making that my title. Because again, this is where Carta Bella and Echo Park get me all the time. They've got too many little sayings and stuff. Like, if they would leave them blank, it would probably make my heart sing just a little bit more for these collections. But, again, I love to challenge myself because it is something definitely what I don't normally use or purchase on my own. It's just like 49 in Market or Graphic 45. Those are definitely not collections that I gravitate to get, but when I see them in the scrap room, I love using them to show that yes, while they are a challenge for me, I can still make a layout, which means if they're a challenge for you, you guys can make a layout too. That's, like my thought process. So I'm just working through the embellishments. I love the florals in this collection, but you don't get much of them. You get more sayings and all of that type of stuff that I'm like, have to cut them up and utilize them as much as I possibly can, because I think I got like 3 florals. And that's hard. Like for me, that's hard to manage to figure out how I'm going to make those work because I don't have a lot. Excuse me. Sorry. I don't have a lot of embellishments to go around. So here I am. I'm just working through all of these stickers and banners and all of that to make sure that it all fits what I want it to look like and to achieve at the end result. So when you do a grid layout, I typically work where the boxes are. I don't normally put a bunch of items outside of my grid. So I typically make little clusters inside the squares and the rectangles or whatever I have for the grid. And that's how I make my layout pop and shine for me. Down in that one corner, I found all of the little types of wines in the sticker pack. And the 12 by 12 stickers that I got. And then that's how I filled in that part. Now I am taking a company that is no longer available. I wish they were. I so miss the sequence. They are Cranberry Bliss from Spiegel Mom Scraps. Now I am using this color collection matches the sequence match this collection to the T. I love it. So I'm just going to do a bunch of sequence around in this to make this work. And then that is pretty much it. Make sure that you go hit the like and subscribe button, all of that fun YouTube-y stuff. If you're coming from the Scrap Room, welcome. I'm so glad to have you on my channel. If you're coming from my channel over to the Scrap Room, we would love to have you here. So I hope that you guys are enjoying all of the fun layouts that the design team does for each collection, for each month. I feel like we've got a very wide variety of ladies that do different things with the collections. And we do, I will be honest, we do really, really try hard to not overcompensate one of the flavors of the month over another. But I do know every once in a while we've got to change it up because some of us go and do more of one collection over the other. I know that I'm a huge Simple Stories person, so whenever I see Simple Stories, I know I can use them, and I tend to gravitate, but I've been doing better at challenging myself on taking Echo Park and Cartabella and all those other ones, and that's what I did this month. Is I stepped out of my box and used two different ones. So I hope that you enjoy what you have seen. The still shots are here. I hope you guys are all staying safe. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
I don't know why I go when I go. I still don't know why this war in my blood. Why this war with all that I love? Oh, my wandering ways and these faithless days, I find it hard to explain. My wandering ways, always turning away from your loving embrace, I find it hard to explain. My wandering ways, my wandering ways.